Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a Screenwriter's Rant on 1883. Apparently this is a prequel to Yellowstone, um, which is a TV series. Yeah, it's co-creator of Yellowstone. 1883 follows the Dutton family as they embark on a journey west through the Great Plains and untamed America. It's got Sam Elliott in it, Tim McGraw, and Faith Hill. Looks pretty authentic. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. Check out the Pineys if you like a lot of gunslinging stuff. And this looks pretty gunslinging. Tim McGraw is the leader of a family, and Sam Elliott's in the mix. And basically, he's trying to get to Oregon. So it's a lot like what's the name? That video game, the Oregon Trail. Only it's going to be gritty and very bloody. So this appears to be like the Wild West version of the Game of Thrones, early Game of Thrones, good Game of Thrones. So with real murders and killings, and they keep finding bodies full of arrows. And here's Sam Elliott acting. So I suspect it's going to be not quite Deadwood, but sort of in that wheelhouse. And about all the terrible things the frontiersmen actually did. So Sam Elliott has this line here. The guy says to him, "This is a free country." He goes, "Back there is a free country. Back there, up there, where they're going, is no man's land." And it's true. And it's like back in the day, you had to take care of your own family, and that's it. You took care of your own family, man, because, think about it. There's no fingerprints. There's no video cameras during this time. Somebody decides to kill you, they get you alone, they can kill you. They can kill you. If you're dumb enough to go with them, if you're not wary enough, start streaming December 19th. It's a series, not a movie. A Yellowstone origin story. I didn't see Yellowstone. I've heard it's decent. This looks good. It looks good. Doesn't look politically correct, that's for sure. So it's gonna be bloody. It's gonna be a bloody mess. A lot of gunfighting, looks like. A lot of drama. So, a lot of horse riding. So, it looks good. I like Western stuff in general. Would I watch this? I'm not going to buy Paramount Plus just for that. There's a few things on Paramount Plus. Again, I'm just hoping these streaming services finally get the memo and just start putting commercials on it so I can watch it for free. I'd totally watch it for free, and I'd sit through commercials to see it. Why not? Why not? It's not blowing my doors off. It looks decent. Looks pretty decent. Looks gritty. I hear Deadwood is the show in that sort of gritty. And I still haven't seen Deadwood. I know. I just don't have time to see too much. I could see some things. The West was paved with blood is one of the taglines. So the leads look good. Everything about this looks good. Everything about this looks on point. Here's the wagon trail. Grass looks a little low, but I guess that's possible. And they'll go through the usual Western tropes, I'm sure. Gunfights and chases on horseback and guys robbing banks and a train. I guess it was a little early for a train. Nah, the trains were there. Prospecting gold and yada, 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 yada. Sure. Why not? I'm sure it'll be decent. Costume design looks fine. It looks all right. What are you going to say about it? It's a Western. It's a Western. I don't know how much more you could do with the Western drama. To me, it's better to do a movie than a TV series. They've kind of done all. Back in the 50s, it was all Western TV series, all Westerns all day long. these days it's like, yeah, you could do a Western series. I mean, Deadwood was big, but they just kind of peter out after a while. I mean, there's no ending to it, right? Either the Wild West ends and it's over, or, you know, it just peters out. Kind of like the Wild West did. There wasn't much of a Wild West, not really. It was a short time in history. It was greatly exaggerated, greatly exaggerated, and then after a decade or so, it was all gone essentially. It was a time where you had to be on your toes, and this is a guy who's going to fight for his family, and that's an appealing concept. I can get behind that concept, right? You watch out for your family, especially during that time. Because if you don't, man, there's plenty of people. Guy comes up to him, he says, I'm not interested in what you're selling, mister. Like, that's the response. Because that's what you would get during that time. Constantly. You go into a town, somebody come up to you, hey, buddy, can I talk to you a minute? And you'd be like, I'm not interested in what you're selling, mister. Because it was constant. That's, there's advantages and disadvantages to freedom, and there was a lot more freedom back then. The freedom was, you could carry a gun, you could, walk around and do basically whatever you want. But the downside is, of course, you got scam artists everywhere. It's kind of like the internet. This was the live-action version of the internet. So would I see it? Yeah, I'm not going to see it on Paramount, but if Paramount comes up with a deal, maybe I'll rent Paramount for a short time and then see it. But it looks decent. Looks like they put a lot of money into it. There's big names in it. The writing doesn't look bad. So 1883 is the name of the show. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. We're going to go grab some dinner. Check us out on Bitchute and Rumble for our more base takes. And we'll see you tomorrow.